Hey, what's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
It's your main man, 360 the Poet from the Morning Wood. And are you looking for the perfect drink? Well, you found it. Mimosa Royale is the perfect combination of California sparkling white wine and natural juice that is both tasty and refreshing. No artificial colors or flavors, no sugar added, and it's gluten-free. As the world's first ready-to-drink mimosa, Mimosa Royale is perfect for any occasion, day or night. You no longer have to drink 12 of those seltzers just to get that perfect buzz. At 8% alcohol, Mimosa Royale is the perfect drink to party with. Offered in a variety of flavors and sizes, you are bound to find a Mimosa Royale that you'll love. We have berry, mango, apple, and orange, with more flavors to come. Mimosa Royale is the most award-winning flavored wine that serves in bottles or cans. You can find them online at drinkmimosa.com or find them at your local liquor store. Ask for it by name. Mimosa Royale.
It's your girl, Miss Connie, coming to you every Wednesday at 5 p.m., discussing the levels of intimacy. What's your naked truth? Stay tuned in to stay turned on. See you at 5.
Hey, baby. Ooh, you already know what time it is. It is that hour. It is 5. Okay. It's 5 o'clock, guys. So you already know it is levels of intimacy, the naked truth. Let's see, we have an echo. Keep talking. Okay. So we have that 5 o'clock hour. We are in our second week of the first year. Okay. Hopefully we are being intentional about starting off with newness, with a new mindset, with a new perspective on growth. And oh, look how big my eyes look. But I'm keeping my glasses on because I can see everything. I got to sit authentically in this aging process. Believe it or not, guys, the girl is getting old. And I be trying to take these glasses off because I had a few of my little friends cracking on me, talking about I had on some binoculars. But guess what? I can see. Okay? I can see with these binoculars on. Shout out to the new year. And bigger eyes. That's where I am in this 25 backwards 2025 year. But this year, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to start off being very intentional about my voice on this platform, what I talk about, who I'm talking to, who I'm surrounding myself with. Let's get in here. Let's be honest about what's going on in our lives, what's going on with our bodies, what's going on in our families, what's going on in our relationships. It is time for the naked truth. I am your girl, Miss Connie. If this is your first time tapping in to the audience, thank you so much. I appreciate your presence in my realm. And I just want to let you know, I'm not an expert, but I definitely do have a voice. I do have a message, and I have a platform. So on my platform, I will talk about all things that I feel necessary to conversate about. Okay, there's so many different places to go and get information. Some people don't have any. This is one. So welcome to the show. Welcome to Levels of Intimacy, the Naked Truth. I am your Miss Connie. As you can see, I am outside of the studio just doing something different because it's a little cold outside. And I just was trying something different. So I created a little space. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can see me. Thank you to my dynamic super team and Carice over at Hot 702.5 for even giving us options. Okay, because kind of be going through that great menopause over here. So I be needing options sometimes. Okay. But yeah, let's come on in here. Let's have this conversation. I also want to say what I'm going to say and what I want to say before every show. I want to let people understand the purpose driven of this whole platform is not for me to come on here and tell any part of your business. So if you are any level of relationship or friendship with me, I'm never on here on the platform to tell your business, but I am an empath. So I do have conversations. So if things sound like they relate to a conversation that you and I had, know that it is not necessarily about you, especially in any kind of negative manner, but it's real conversations that I have, real conversations that need to be had. So today, starting off this second week of the new year, of a new grace start, us being intentional, us being in abundance. That's the word for the year I'm hearing, How are we setting ourselves up? A peace of mind is priceless. So if we have all of these things going on and we in these relationships with people, we have to start to understand the layers, the tiers, the people. And the word has been coming up. I've been posting soul tie, soul tie. Everybody has these soul ties. Some are conscious, some aren't conscious. But today we're going to get into it. So I want to say good morning to some of y'all because you're just waking up. You're just waking up that you are definitely in a situation of situations that you don't understand why you have a certain type that is not being productive, that is not being reaping you any level of benefit, and that's not healthy mentally, physically, or emotionally. You definitely have come from something, because one thing about doing this show and tapping into this topic, when we think soul ties, automatically we relate it to being sexual. Soul ties is not always about sexual. It is literally you being connected to something in body and in spirit. People think spirit and soul are the same things, but they're not. They're two totally different things, and if that's the case, how do we end up with words like soul food, or what's good for the soul? So understanding that and understanding how we are moving in relationships, especially if you are of the age where you've experienced and you've been in relationship, you definitely got a bachelor's degree in good and bad relationships. And you always say, listen, I only got 7 good years in me. I hear people say that all the time. My longest relationship is 6 months, because I'm telling you, after that, I always feel like something is going on. No, these are things that these are seeds that are being intentionally planted. And these sometimes have a lot to do with soul ties. So understanding that soul ties, it refers to a deep emotional, spiritual, or physical connection between individuals through intimacy of shared life experiences. I had a few people tap in. I had a few conversations, and it was so great because I was able to get the perspectives from different type of relationships. It's a realm out here. It's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of alphabets. It's LGBTQ plus. It's a few more things going on that we're not even having conversations about. But I talked to one of my gentleman clients about healing, and it was so funny because I have them do these like audibles, so I was able to type it out, and it was crazy the words that we are using. Like, he was just saying, like, once I explained to him what a soul tie was and how that worked, and he said, I spent years navigating through tumultuous waters. Okay, WAP, you coming through with tumultuous waters? Okay, what is happening out here? I said, damn, not tumultuous. Okay, that was deep. Okay, he says he was trying to understand the emotional scars that had lingered. So he basically dealing with women, trying to be that healing mechanism for them, because guess what? He comes out of broken homes, watching his mother go back and forth through these dynamics of dealing with his father and other men who she had, I guess, dated throughout his childhood. And I said a show about that a couple of shows ago. A lot of women that are in toxic relationships are dealing with men who come from toxic homes. But instead of being a better person, that term children learn what they live, they become that person sometime. And same too with women. We definitely have to be conscious of not becoming these battlefield scarred mothers, because we take on that energy. I was just having this conversation, being a mother of sons, talking to another mother of a son. Like, literally, this is the man of the house. The father is gone. So now you put all this pressure on your son. So at 12, 14, 15, 16, whatever time this man exited the home, now he is the provider. Now he has all of this, pressure on him, like that he is supposed to show up as this person, because you have this soul tie, which is called childbirth, which is called mothering, which is called parenting. And sometimes we put a lot of pressure on that word parent when it comes to our children, when we have to understand that this is our child, but we are not dealing with children. You know what I'm saying? So I think just me myself, like I said, when I talk about things on here, it has a lot to do with what's going on in my life as well as conversations that I have. So me as well, having adult children, you have to let these kids live their life. You cannot parent them their whole time out here. You got to listen. Be still, Jesus. But anyway, he says dealing with her with the emotional scars, he said, wait a minute, have shaped who he was. So he like, I don't even be, he was so scarred. He was like, listen, they on this and they on that. That's why when I be getting with women, I do this and I do that. And I'm like, well, every woman is not like that, because I know I'm not her. So you couldn't come handling me that same way. So now it's like, okay, I made you conscious that you may be projecting, okay? You may be blocking your blessings because you already are putting in the universe that it's always going to be an unsuccessful run. So right here, let's tap into the level of being a soul tie and understanding how to let go of toxic ties and focus on building healthy relationships. How we do that? I give y'all, first of all, I'm going to say journaling is like the best thing ever. That's why poetry is poetry has always been outside, but poetry getting deep. Like poetry is like boom, boom, because everybody got these emotions and these feelings, and ain't nobody got time to go to jail. So they just go put in words. That's why these songs are coming out. You know what I'm saying? These passionate songs where you hearing all this pain, people singing their way out of toxicity, out of trauma, trying to show up in adults as trying to show up in an adult form for the child they needed, for the adult that they needed as a child. I don't know if I said that right. So a lot of us are showing up in these relationships thinking like as the missing component in what was missing in your life. So it's like, I know what I was missing and I'm going to show up to be that person. But guess what? If the last person you dealt with, you haven't dealt with that situation, it's going to be clearly impossible for you to carry on and have a healthy relationship the next go round. So that's why, like, people are like, oh, Connie, you out here steaming yonis. Hell no, Connie is not steaming no yoni. Connie don't even have time to steam yoni. But guess what? I know where you can go. I bet you I got a connect. I have a resource for you. And guess how I know the resource works? Because I've invested in the relationship with her. I've invested in the education. There is a miseducation to the vagina. Okay? I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it over and over again. There is a misconception to the vagina. Okay? Hey, Tasha. What's up, everybody? Hey, Keys. Hey, Diva Dance. Yes, everybody. I'm going to give everybody a shout out in a minute. But I want to definitely stay on conversation. There is definitely a miseducation, and not only to the vaginas, just to how the system works, period. I'll say it every show. It's all about the chakra. It's all about alignment. It's all about healing. It's all about causes and effects. That happened. So what now? We cannot keep sitting in the problem. I don't want to keep hearing about the problem. I am rooted in the solution of things. Shout out to Grow Nevada today. I went to a dynamic event. It was like this, the most powerful thing, but they asked the question, like, what is the levels? What were the things that you would suggest in someone getting started in business, and how would that person be more productive in from your perspective on the do's and don'ts? First thing was association. Cut them off. You cannot get fruit from both. You got to cut these people off. And it's not about falling out with people. It's really not about, we're not friends no more. No, sometimes you just outgrow these situations and you outgrow relationships. You have to understand what box people be put are put in, because once again, here we are talking about soul ties. So we talk about the gentleman, him dealing with women coming out of toxic relationships, him coming out of a broken household, but he's out here like he's a freaking serviceman. So if he's only dealing with broken women, he out here mixing and mingling with his ping like he is a serviceman. Is he the root of the problem as well? Okay, because you constantly trying to fix broken people, but you're not sitting still to see if that shit really works. Let's get a 90-day warranty on the server. Let's stick around to see if this is working. But no, because guess what he has to do? Turn into that other phrase, Captain Save. I'm trying to keep it clean, so I ain't gonna be saying no bad words. But this is how that term comes, because Captain Saver, is going to cater to the woman who needs to be saved. Okay. Shout out this episode, as many have been dedicated to that one queen that wears that crown. That is I. So going back to now, thinking about these soul ties, and coming from my other client who was tied from a domestic violence situation. The first thing she said is, Connie, I never thought I would find myself in a relationship that felt more like a prison. At first, he was charming and attentive, showering me with affection. It felt like a dream. But then it turned cold and the love got vicious. I became a shadow and was trapped in a cycle of fear and manipulation. Okay? Because guess why? She done poured into, and now she empty. And guess what? He out here strong as a demon. Okay? We're going to call him the good D demons. Strong as a demon, because he's just thrusting. And I posted, when you engage in a ritual sex and thrust, it's almost, it is a ritual. It's not almost, it is a ritual. It is an act. So when you already dealing with somebody who don't have good energy, who's not conscious, who doesn't have great intentions in being any level of a successful relationship with you, has no intentions on loving you forever, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that everything that you own is not worth the value of the person that is standing on your feet. That is you. So when you allow somebody to come in, pound on, break your mental down, beat your body up, and now you just in a mode where you lost, and now he's feeding you. Oh, you ain't gonna be nothing without me. You ain't gonna be able to make it without me. Don't no man want you. Look at you. Women, if you are in a domestic violent relationship and you are dealing with this level of nonsense, this level of bad food, don't eat it. Don't eat it, because the most abusive man, the most verbally abusive man, is the scaredest. He is so scared that you are going to leave him. He wants to convince you that you are powerless, but he is the one without the power. Once again, the miseducation of the vagina. No, Curtin, I'm not saying nothing bad about the man and what he got going on, but I don't work with that. So I got to work with what I work with. And I'm telling you, this is how my healing works. This is what my platform is made for. This is what I'm going to talk about. So don't come on here talking about all she talk about is this, and all I'm talking about is this, and all I'm talking about is that. So you right about that. I'm talking about this, and I'm talking about that. Okay? Because guess what? Somebody got to talk to somebody, because the divorce rate, the prison rate, the death rate, the homicide, all these rates are going up because we're not dealing with closure, and we not understanding who we sleeping with and who we sleeping on. That's what I posted in my Facebook. It's not always about who you sleeping with. Who you sleeping on? You sleeping on yourself? Don't sleep on yourself, sis. Don't sleep on yourself, king. Some of these women, horrible. Okay? I used to be one of them. I'm going to be honest with that. As I sit back and I have conversations with my very first love, Brian DeBose. He followed me on Facebook. He probably on here now. If he not, he going to comment eventually. the love of my life, non-sexual relationship as a child, but we have been so tied for 40 plus years. We still have these moments that we share, like we're going to come together. We probably won't, but there's a level of soul tying there. You know what I'm saying? So although he wasn't my first partner, he was my first love. So that goes back to the beginning of understanding how you create these soul ties. It's not always through sex, but it's definitely affected me throughout my life, because as I look at my last love, I look at my first love now, and they are literally almost the same exact person, same zodiac, same characteristics, same features. It was almost scary. I think I realized it probably about a year ago, like, oh my God, like I can't even believe how much you look like my ex, you know, which is crazy because it's like, okay, now kind of got to type. You got to break your soul ties, you know, so understanding those soul ties is really, really huge. But definitely if you are somebody coming out of a domestic violent relationship, please take time to heal your body, because you are literally open. You are wanting so much, but you are so empty because you really have to big yourself back up sometimes after you deal with these people who have such strong words. And sometimes we come from strong words, so we able to keep piling them on, like they not affecting us, but they just really make the shield harder. And then you meet somebody really special, and then it's hard for you to even try to, you know, have a purposeful relationship because you're so broken. So definitely take time for yourself. And when you're done taking time for yourself, date more than one person. Please don't come out of a long domestic violence relationship and then get back into a relationship with one person. I say no. I say get to know yourself. Go out and date other people. You will truly find a lot about yourself once you date more than one person at a time. So, like I said, if you're going through a domestic problems situation, definitely sit down, have a real conversation with yourself in the mirror, because often we share when we are in these type of relationships, but we never tell the whole truth. So sometimes if you had that conversation and you look at yourself and you ask yourself these questions, somebody will answer. That's called ancestors energy, your other mind, bipolar, because that's what happens when bipolar to me is you showing up someplace you ain't got no business to be, but you got to fall in line. You got to create a character. So this person got to show up to save that person got to show up to save that person. But guess what? If all y'all team up together and be the one authentic person you was meant to be, okay, and not create all these spirits to deal with all these demons, listen, the clock will start to work backwards. The clock will start to work backwards. You know what I'm saying? So definitely reach out, get you some therapy. Don't keep calling your homegirl having that same dead end conversation. And guess what? Girlfriends, don't be available to have these dead end conversations with them. Make them tap into their resources. Make them be intentional about healing. Because guess what? You will be having the best relationship over here, but talking to somebody in a whole toxic situation, and they will ruin your whole thing you got going on. Now your boyfriend can't stand them. You and him got problems. And guess what? That soul tie is now becoming like a Boy Scout knot. Get that shit. Excuse me, Lord. Stop cussing. Get it out of here. Get away from here. No weapons formed against me shall prosper. Go ahead, take it on. And guess what? Like I was saying, back with that soul tie, with that childhood the sweethearts and soul ties. It was just an intertwinement of dreams that we shared. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot from you, B. I'm still learning a lot from you. But definitely what I do know is that pay attention to who you are or who you were as a young person, because sometimes you tap out and you change into all these different people for all these different reasons, for all these different titles. But it's nothing like knowing a childhood friend who could take you back and remind you that you've always been that same person. And that's what I do. That's what my tribe do for me. Shout out to Evelyn, my GI family and friends, Gary, Indiana. Shout out to Lucretia. Your baby doing so magnificent, both of them. Shout out to Brian DeBose, Maurice Marbury. Just shout out to all these people who got these different platforms, who literally are looking for somebody to talk to, who literally want to tap in and understand, am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? I know she didn't. Oh, yes, she did. You are losing your mind, but I guess what? If you figure out that is you losing it before it's all the way gone, if you tap in and start to save yourself and make yourself the most important person, you're going to get that boy right back. You're going to get that boy right back. And I'm going to tell you something. You're going to deal with these lines, but you ain't going to have no more lines, okay? Because there ain't going to be none when you're on your own lane. That part, okay? Soul ties. Be conscious about soul ties. I was in a long relationship. The reason I am able to have the conversation about this is because I went through my necessary causes. What I'm being educated, what I'm being certified in is yoni steaming. I did a pearl cleanse early on a few years ago, healed my wound from trauma, healed my wound from past partners, healed my wound from birth, okay? So that there, once you start to open up those chakras, once you start this ritualistic of this steaming, opening up these outer linings of the walls, you're able to literally, like, it's almost like, what's it, ghetto, if you live in Vegas. Ghetto said, let us come out, not only check your plumbing, but we're going to sweep the vent to make sure that the air flow through clear. Because you still got a little bit of air, but guess what? It's so much lint, but they going to come through and they going to open it up just like that so you could get all this fresh air. That's what yoni steaming. It's going to, instead of that little straw, that little bit of air, that little bit of steam that can get through, that little bit, like you ain't got a lot of sense. They say, she don't got all her marbles. You know what I'm saying? Because you're working on about this much air passage. But the more you start to open up, you start to educate yourself, you start to turn off this ridiculous TV, you start to change your algorithm, you start to be more intentional about your growth. It just, I'm telling you, it just really, really all start to work out. It's just so amazing. Definitely when we tap back into the culture of our things and just stay woke, you know. It can't always be morning. You got to stay woke sometime. And just to stop going on a tangent, I definitely want to send prayers out for all of the nonsense around the world that's going on. Definitely for what's going on in California right now. The whole seem like everything is on fire up in Southern California. We want to pray for them people. We definitely just want to pray for the mother who just lost her child in New Orleans. That was crazy. That's a soul tie right there. That's postpartum depression. That is womb hurt. This woman knew. This woman, so I'm going to just jump on that. So speaking on soul tying, understanding from a mother's perspective, we always warn our children about things like, don't mess with her. Don't go over there. No, I'm telling you, it's dangerous over there. And these kids never listen. Everybody want to do what they want to do. God even tell us as adults, don't be messing around over there with him. Don't be over there playing, okay? And oftentimes when we do, we end up with a child. And here go the child, and here we are in some level of whatever. This girl mother told her not to go to this whole event. She went anyway and cost her life. Now, there's going to be a loss of a mother losing a child on so many levels of intimacy. But think about if you already knew, you already seen, you already told, you already warned, and there's still a loss. What could she have done? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel sorry if she had even any more children, because I dealt with an aunt who lost a daughter and she became so hardcore on the other children. And then she passed away. And now my cousins, it's just crazy because I had more time with his mother than him. And I could just see some things and that he doesn't see or know because he didn't get a chance to really get to know her like I did. But just always those warnings of things happening, and then they happen. A parent's greatest fear is that their child leave this world without them. You know, that is a whole nother level of conversation. But speaking back on how I will run my shows from here on out is that I won't take 1 week just to have a topic. I want to take out the month. So this month of January, we are definitely going to be having a conversation about soul ties, because I think the only way for us to be able to move forward as relationship-minded people, I don't care if you man on man, man on woman, woman on woman. It doesn't matter. But if you in any level of relationship, you have to understand how you moving and what are you moving with. Like, I think we bringing a lot of stuff over people's house, you know? You know, your mom be like, don't let them bring all the bags over your house. But what if they wasn't a physical bag and it was more mental and emotional baggage? And now we then got ourselves in some nonsense because we just was looking for something and we found a whole lot of everything. So if you don't want a whole lot of everything, please be conscious. Please understand, you know what I'm saying? And we get a lot of people with soul ties coming out of heterosexual. Hey, Tina Marie, coming out of heterosexual relationships, and now they so sick of the opposite sex. They willing to go. Here we come with somebody like, hey, let me show you a little something different. But listen here, I ain't knocking you, girl. I ain't knocking you, guy. I ain't knocking you, girl. But understand that this is another soul tie. Hey, Tina Marie, this is another soul tie-in. When we have these relationships, and I don't even want to seem like I'm being, you know, I got to be very, very careful of my words. But I know one of my clients that is a lesbian. I don't know. She was saying I was using all these old terms, so I don't know. So she's part of the LGBTQ community, okay? And she was saying that she dated men and women. But one thing that she loves about women is that she finds a piece of herself, you know? So that's what she's so connected with the female aspect of dating, because it's like it makes her feel exhilarating. And I'm like, how? When, you know, so what was that? Because she is a top. So I think it brings out her masculine energy, because she wanted to tap more into her masculine energy because she is a bigger woman, but she still had a soft side. So she did not allow me to label her as anything. She told me she was an individual. So I'm telling you, it's LGBTQ plus some other shit going on out here. But definitely had a conversation. And make sure that you ask people what happened to the relationship prior. I am a dead believer that I don't really want to hear everything about your ex. We're not about to spend day after day, night after night, talking to you about what happened in your ex relationship. I don't really give 2 dimes or a nickel. But I definitely want to know what happened, and are you being accountable or being held accountable? Hey, Davita, for the wrongs and the rights, like the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because we always so quick to blame other people, like, oh, she this and she that, or she this and she that. But guess what? If you hadn't had the necessary conversations prior, would we still be here? You know what I'm saying? Like, what that whole facts looking like? Are we like really, really taking, putting ourselves through way too much, just dealing with people that I don't even know, like, we shouldn't even be in the same room with each other. But you have to definitely, hey, babe, hey, Eric, hey, everybody on Instagram and TikTok. We definitely have to be woke. And one thing about living in a place like Las Vegas and dating, that's like, unlike coming from some place where you grew up and people know people. These people come out here with all these make-believe stories. So you don't know what these people are into. Who are they connected to? What's the truth? What's the lie? The thing about dating in your hometown and dealing with people that you know is that there's going to be it's going to be a level of transparency. You're going to know, like, girl, no, he is lying. Or like, oh yeah, no, he really got it going on. Like, he really a good father. He really does this. He's about his business or whatever. But guess what? Sometimes being with somebody about their business is a great look for you. But are you about your business? Are you a great look for them? So just understanding what level that we on. She said, crazy because some people feel it's such an uncomfortable question and refuse. No, listen, if anybody have any problem with you asking them a question, please tell them don't ask to see your tail. Okay, that's the best way I can say that. If you uncomfortable when we ask you a question, please don't be naked in front of me. Because if we're preparing to be naked in front of each other, then I think a question, I should be able to ask you anything. Are you HIV positive? Do you like men? Do you like women? Are you, we got to have some real questions. And if you're afraid to ask somebody about your health and your mind, then guess what? You need to work on your throat chakra. Because if you don't save yourself in this day and age, I guarantee they're going to kill you. Take a sip on that one. It's going to be damn near like committing suicide. It is committing suicide. If you want to ask a question and you cannot ask a question, you are almost committing suicide. I'm not about to commit suicide with you, bro. No. I got a situation now, and I mean, it's so crazy how when your mind is in a different place than your body. If you know anything about the Bible, desires of the flesh, I don't know what scripture it is. If somebody got a scripture, put it up here. The desires of the flesh are treacherous. I have a gentleman friend, and it's something about him. When he come around me, I mean, my body get to doing all this crazy stuff, and I'm having conversations with her like, girl. And my body like, girl. But my mind is like, girl. I know, okay. Do it. And that's in my mind. But my body, she ready. She ready for the level of nonsense because my chakras are being aligned and they like right in the middle. So I don't know what's happening, but although I really would love to engage in some level of nonsense, guess what I do understand? I am powerful. I am woman. I am energy. I know who I am. I know how I show up. I know what I can do. I know the powers I possess. So it's almost demonic on my level for me to even deal with a broken person. Because I already know he's going to get on my nerves. Because I'm going to power him up. I'm going to power him up. And then I'm going to slam him down because I'm not. No. So I know to put this baby on chill. Okay? Until I am ready to move to my mind and body is all working at the same time, So like I said, I'm working on myself. And my friend Celeb, he said, Connie, why are you celibate? Like, did you have a bad experience? No, I didn't have a bad experience, honey. I don't have bad experiences. I just know that the harder it takes for me to be pleased, the deeper it's going to get. I am your educator. I am your sexual wellness coach. I am your bedroom boutique consultant. It doesn't matter if you're loving on yourself or somebody else, baby. Connie gonna have a solution and a problem. When you have that level of education, with that level of power, with that level of mindset, you have to be very cautious how you move. You have to be very, very cautious of who, and you gotta be careful. Because I can be very toxic. I come from a domestic violent household. I always tell people when you come out of domestic violent households, you're going to be either one of the two. You're going to either be the victim or you're going to be the abuser. I have an abusive tendency. So I work on myself constantly. I am being told who I am, what I'm doing. And I am here for the constructive criticism, although I do have to go away for a minute to process it because I'm feeling like, damn, like what else you want me to do? But guess what? In your growing season, you got to be able to be plow. When you got a good garden, you got to remove some things. You got to do some plowing. You got to do some hoeing, with a garden tool. Not this tool, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to move the dirt. You got to be able to move some things around. So same way is in taking constructive criticism and definitely being the person that I am out here. And I can't hide no more. I can't hide. Thank you, Tina Marie. Like, I really just can't hide out here. And that's another thing because it ain't nothing. People ask me all the time, but I know who I am. Yes. And you got to really... Like, this is not a thing I learned a year ago. This is something I have to tell myself. The show started at 4:55. I have to say at 4:54, Connie, tap in. You that. This is you. This is how you doing it. You know, especially when you're having the conversations about intimacy, about sex, being in Vegas. It's like, oh, it used to be a hoe. No, I ain't never been no hoe, baby. Let me tell you something. I'm celibate, but I got a lot to sell. I ain't never been out here flipping and flopping around like no trout, and I ain't knocking nobody else who have. You got to get it how you live, you know. But thank goodness I was raised by a Christian mother, so there's things that I have instilled in me, and I just know better. I've always knew better. You know what I'm saying? But now I feel as if I'm going to do better, you know, because I come from a point where I wanted to rebel, just growing up in religion and losing myself. And now just being conscious, like, y'all, like, it be real bullies out here. It'd be real sexual, deviated demons and bullies. It people out here rooting for me to give my body away, rooting for me to be bent over backwards and for somebody to release life in my back. You know what I'm saying? Literally, when you tell your friend, oh, you need to go get some tea. Oh, you need to go. Girl, you need to. Like, be conscious of what we telling people. Like, do I really need somebody to release their spirits in me? If you see I'm already in an empty place, if you see I'm already going through something, that's your solution for me. Trust and believe that person right there is a serpent. I don't care how you say it. That's just what I'm going to say. That's how I'm looking at somebody who's telling me in my healing journey how to go backwards. Don't tell me to go get no D. That's not what no. Do I need to be touched, rubbed? Of course. I'm human. Humans need contact. That's why I try to tell people when you celibate, it doesn't mean you're not intimate. It doesn't mean I don't go get my back rubbed and my legs rubbed and my feet rubbed. But what it does mean is there's no one dropping their kids off in my house. There's no one parking their cars in my garages. Okay. And that's a conscious choice. I'm not on no mission. I'm not trying to sell you no level or nothing that's going on in my life. That's just a conscious choice with me because I am assertive, aggressive, powerful, and I just don't want subpar. So if I can't get it like I want it, get it like I'm supposed to have it, and I don't even want to say get it like I used to get it because I don't even want to get it like I used to get it. But if I'm not being poured into as much as I'm releasing, I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to sit on it, boy. I'm telling you right now, though, I'm in my season. I kept telling my friend, she was like, how come you ain't married, Connie? I can't believe you're married. Because I'm not on the level that my husband need me to be, that my partner need me to be. Because I ain't even big on the husband word. Like, I'm not even into it. But definitely looking for a partner. Definitely looking for a male partner. Because you got to be real specific sometimes, you know. Now, shout out to whatever. That's what my homegirl Shade, she said, we putting on your casket. Connie never dated women. I didn't. I don't knock it for you, but me, I'm a strong energy. I needed to be a man, you know? So I'm not saying I don't like y'all, but what I'm saying is I'm way too powerful for y'all right now. And that it's going to be dangerous. So I'm literally like saving you. I'm saving you from being taken down because I already know. And if you are interested in this mindset, Tina Marie, make sure you read books like The Art of Seduction, The Power of Persuasion. Like once you are educated on all these different skill sets and mindsets, it makes you a more powerful person in the room. Today, when I went through the whole Grow Nevada thing, one of the speakers said, some people come in the room to be seen. I come in the room to be heard. And right at that moment, I was laughing loud as hell. And my friend bumped me. She was like, girl, you so loud. And I was like, oh my God, I'm working on my volume. But guess what? Maybe I was meant to be heard, you know? So if I felt, I was like, damn, I really was kind of loud. But you know what I'm saying? Understand who you are. Connie, you are the voice. I went through there and I literally probably have met everybody. And if I didn't meet somebody, I met somebody that was with that person and was like, the lady who had them dreadlock things in her hair. Yeah, her, the loud one. I wonder what she into. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we want. That's what you need in business. You don't want to be invisible. You don't want to be invisible. Like we know we use these words introvert, extrovert, because you don't want to be invisible. Because when you're invisible, nobody sees you. And everybody want to be seen. It's just that reality. But definitely in these soul ties, we want to be conscious. We want to be woke. We want to be healed. I'm from Wisconsin, but I've been here for 3 years. It's different out here. I'm still single. Just be careful. I was also raised in the church. But guess what, Tina Marie? It's really not about meeting nobody. You beautiful. You could have been in a nonsense relationship. But guess what? That God-fearing, that information that was passed on over to you from your beliefs and your culture and your morals and your values balances you out. Because I was in a really good relationship to some, but to me, the only problem that we had is that he ain't had no good book. I don't care which kind of Bible you got. You better get one, because you got to have somebody to know a little bit something about God, who got some God-fearing in them, who got some kindness in them. You know what I'm saying? Who understands how to be human. So, Tina, you're not single because it's hard to date in Vegas, because it's so easy to go to one of these places and meet somebody, get your eggs scrambled, and, you know what I'm saying, meet a macaroni without no cheese. But guess what? You're not falling for it. And thank God. Thank God for that. Yeah, it's okay to still be single. I don't care how old you are. I'm 52 and I'm single. And you guess what? I got a bunch of friends that's 52, married miserable, married sad, married happy, married cheating, married ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot going on with people that's sharing rooms. That's why in my post initially on my Facebook feed, are we sleeping with the enemy or are we sleeping on the enemy? Are we, was our relationship destined for doom because we even had premarital sex and married somebody? Was the relationship deemed doomed because when you met the person, you were coming out of something or just had a baby by somebody else? Was your whole womb open and you just started dating somebody after carrying somebody else's child, you know? Like, all these things. Were you, me, I'm damaged. I'm coming out of being conceived in trauma. I am a child literally from rape. So from conception, it's been, you know what I'm saying, fruity pebbles. It's been all kind of nonsense. So just imagine being conceived in trauma, living in trauma, living with not knowing that you in trauma, trying to understand why you about to bring the trauma, then going and creating life with more trauma. Hey, guess what? Taking 37 years literally to figure it out. Let me tell you something. But the moment that you do, you start all the way back over. Because what you realize is you get a second chance. That's what happens when you break soul ties. You literally get a second chance on being your authentic self and being the person that you needed when you even got connected to this moron. Psychopath. Degenerate. Ridiculousness. Don't blame him. Blame where you were in your life. Blame that you even attracted this type of energy. We have to be accountable in dealing with these things. We always want to blame, like, girl, he was ruining my life. No, you ruined your own life. You ruined your own life because you allowed yourself to stay leveled in some nonsense. So if I can't convince you with any of the words that I shared on here for the last 44, 45 minutes, what I'm going to tell you is right now, get a piece of pen and paper and write this down. There is no one who can be me. There is no one ever that is going to be me. If I do not show up for myself in this given moment, in this time in my life where I have freedom of speech, right, and accountability with yourself, where I have freedom to get up and move from my house, from my space, from my job, from my surroundings, with all of this level of freedom, if I choose to stay here in this moment, Lord, please open my eyes, clear my chakras, unclog my ears, and make me understand how to begin the process of saving myself. It's going to first start with the person in the mirror, because a lot of us are wearing our feelings on ourselves. Start with yourself, okay? Make yourself look better. I'm always shout that out. 30 years behind the chair, I'm a stylist. This is how I got to this point right here. TotallyMadeOver.com. If you don't know a stylist, I'm here in Las Vegas. If you can afford to get here, you can fly on Frontier for $19. If you're watching me anywhere, Miss Connie LV, MISSCONNIELV. Let me start with your root, that head. Let me start in your crown. Let me get your mind together. Have a conversation with you in my chair. Let me beat your face. Let me send you somewhere and get you a cute outfit and a cute wardrobe, because you must have forgot everything that you was working with. And then once we get done with the rooter, then we're going to get to the tutor, because now I'm going to encourage you to walk over with me and get yourself a yoni steam facilitation. And guess what? Instead of coming to a facility, a cold brick water, I want to come to your house. Let's come to your house. Let's cleanse your space. Let's open up your chakras. Let's be intentional about healing. You know what I'm saying? Whether you sleeping with the demon or sleeping on the demon, let's bring this into your home. Let's make this a conscious effort to eat better. Let's think clearer. Let's eat a little bit better. Once we got our hair done, our makeup done, eyebrows arched, a nice little fit. Maybe we had to go get a new one. We done got our yonis together. We done steamed inside from out. Now let's go read a book. Okay, and when you read a book, get a piece of paper and let's write some notes. Let's make some notes on some shit we're reading. We don't want to read about no true to the game, okay? We all been on some level of hood and nonsense. If you didn't know about the hood, you never seen nobody got killed, you got TikTok, you got the news. We already see. We got First 48. We don't need to keep hearing about drug dealers shooting, killing. Start reading about self-help. Start reading about personal development. Start reading about what it is that is interesting that we would be interested in. Okay, start engaging in mixers, not clubs where you can't hear nobody, where it's nothing but liquor and debasing music now that's spewing in our ear, which I love a little bit of hip hop. Let me tell you something, I'm with the trap music, but there's a time and a place for everything. Because right now, when we're on our healing journey, what we don't need to be doing is tapping in our too short right now. Okay, maybe not so much scissor. We don't want to get too, but make it in between like Kalani or something, because we all receive our messages differently, So little Jill Scott, little Nita, little Luther, you might have to throw a little Kevin Gates up in there, but make sure you're listening to things that are creating a healthy mindset, a healing environment that is going to help you be better. And stop being mad at other people because of the choices and the decisions you made. Like, listen, y'all, and stop being doormats. I just read something. This is the year of the healer. If you're a person that somebody got to always call and talk to and have all these healing conversations with them, it's time to stop. It's time to fill your cup back up, or either turn yourself into a consulting business. You know what I'm saying? Because you spend a lot of time and energy telling somebody something and they're not really moving forward. So are your words really effective, or are they stuck? You know what I'm saying? If they keep calling you, guess what? You got a business. Okay, if they do something, you're generating revenue. Okay, if they ain't doing shit, then listen, tell them to post and let people know that that's who they're talking to. Do something, but do something to help each other. Do something to heal. Guess what? Write these affirmations, write these quotes, call me, send me a message. I may not respond right away, but definitely come get a yoni steam, get 4 or 5 of your girlfriends together. Let's have a bedroom candy party. I am your bedroom boutique consultant. bedroomcandy.com/11002. If you put that code in, it will automatically send me a link to let me know that you either want to join, have a party, or have some level of conversation with me on the education of intimacy. Let's get 4 of your girlfriends together. We can come over. We can do a steam. We can have a conversation. We could cry. Like, we could really sit and talk. Nothing that you are going through is anything new. We all been through the same thing. We just moving at different times. I'm not trying to come off to be haughty to nobody. I'm just older than you. So I got a little bit more experience and I have a little less patience. Please understand that. If you listening to me, if you know me, I am working on it, but guess what? I got other shit to do. So I realize if you're not in your healing season, I'm definitely, if you're not in your transition, because everybody say, oh, I'm in my healing season, but some people want you to keep on patting them on the back. I'm not that person. I'm not no pattern on the back. I'm like, let's get in the car, let's roll, let's go. I don't even want to hear about the problem. I just want to know we gonna dead that shit and we on our way and we getting ready to do something productive, okay? You know what I'm saying? If you didn't have a spat, you didn't put some on your knuckles and it healed it real fast and nothing that nobody knew, that's what we do. I'm your girl, Miss Connie LV, Soul Ties. How you break them? Figure it the fuck out. Get your mind together, okay? This was Week 2 episode for the new year. It's all about self-care, loving on yourself, not everybody else. Follow me, subscribe to my channel, Intims.C box on YouTube, or tag me, Miss Connie LV. Come back, holla at me. I'm your girl. I love you. Have a beautiful evening, everyone. Toodles.
Hi.
Hey, what's up? What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out.
Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On Hot 7025fm.com.